crime is worse, affordability is worse, homelessness is worse, the drug crisis is worse, spending is higher than it's ever been, taxes are higher than they've ever been, and we are getting absolutely nothing for it. You have done nothing for the county. Genuinely, you have done nothing for the county. This segment is brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Sick of fad diets that work for a couple months and then you gain all the weight back? Well, I'm down 37 pounds on the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic program, and I've kept that weight off for more than a year. Schedule your free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dow Constantine just needs to go. I don't know what he's doing. He's not running for governor, thankfully, but the King County Executive has been an utter failure. He's on his 4th term in office, and he's just the poster child for no self-awareness. You know, if you're the leader of a place for 16 years and all the big issues have gotten worse, like, don't you look in a mirror and think, like, maybe this is me? Maybe we just need someone with new ideas, with better ideas. I'll start this segment by talking about this funny comic Change Washington put out this morning. Did you see it, Nicole? Mm-hmm. They're very good at comics. That's a spitting image of Dow Constantine.
It's really good.
It is. It says, Dow Constantine hears no evil, sees no evil, speaks nonsense. 100%. I mean, he came out, he said drugs have nothing to do with the homeless problem. And then he's, failing to enforce laws doesn't affect crime. It's like, no, it does. So the latest ordeal with Dow Constantine has to do with the King County Jail. Remember, this is a guy who, got all woke in 2020 and said, we're going to end juvenile detention. And that hasn't happened because, of course, we have a lot of juvenile crime. And so he wanted to get bonus points by promising to do something that just wasn't feasible. But this is someone who's been very soft on crime. And there's an issue right now at the King County Jail, the main adult detention facility for King County, right in downtown Seattle. It's had a couple issues. So they stopped taking a lot of bookings during the pandemic, and we were led to believe, it's just a pandemic thing. But now they have a shortage of guards. So there's a lot of bookings, as we know, that they're just flat out turning away. So remember, unless the entire system is working, it's going to continue to be a failure. So you have a Seattle city attorney who I think is more tough on crime, certainly than previous city attorneys, in Ann Davison, and she wants to book criminals. She wants police officers who arrest criminals to be able to freaking book those criminals in the King County Jail. And not only does she want that, she expects that. Well, why does she expect that? Well, because the city of Seattle pays King County for the pleasure of using their jail. The city of Seattle pays King County for access to about 200 beds within the King County Jail. Yet still, Seattle police officers come in, they try to book criminals on misdemeanor crimes that are wreaking havoc on the city, and they're turned away. And Ann Davison, she was in front of the Seattle City Council. This was a clip from last week. And she says, you want to know why crime is so bad and why we've got repeat offenders who are out time and time again, why we've got someone who is just smoking fentanyl on the street corner and he's back out 3 hours later? Well, it's because we can't book them in jail. Here's the clip.
Is our Seattle police officers that we've heard about are not able to book on over half of our misdemeanor crimes that are listed in our city's laws. So I'd like to say that staggering sentence again. Our officers are not able to book on over half of the misdemeanor crimes that are listed in our city's laws. And so when you are looking at what can your limited number of officers that we have with the struggles of recruiting that Chief Rahr has identified, we need to be able to provide something for them so they know that they can be responsive in the moment to community.
Yeah, so they can book on, there's some exceptions, assault, DUI, sex crimes, domestic violence, those are going to be booked. But as she mentioned, half of the laws that fall within the purview of the Seattle City Attorney's Office, which handles misdemeanors, the King County Sheriff's Office, Prosecutor's Office, they're going to handle felony stuff. It is theft, property destruction, animal cruelty, trespassing, and a whole lot more. The drug crimes that we have that they're trying to enforce, arresting people on, all these emphasis patrols and all of that. So you've got half of the laws that are the city attorney wants to prosecute and has the political will to prosecute. And can certainly move forward with that case. Just because someone's not booked into jail doesn't mean you can't prosecute them. But good luck finding the guy who was on 3rd and Pine, doing fentanyl and had just got arrested for the 8th time. Now you're going to throw the book at him and try to force him into treatment. You think you're going to find him again to prosecute that case? Of course you're not. So if he has to go before a judge and there's some bail set and there's some conditions of release, maybe there's a chance. So she's frustrated, right? She has every reason to be frustrated. She has every right to be frustrated, but Dow Constantine doesn't think so. And Dow Constantine is just personally offended that Ann Davison is blaming King County and the jail. In the Seattle Times, the headline, County Executive blames Seattle City Attorney, not the jail, for safety issues. It says, in a message to Metropolitan King County Council members sent by Penny Lipsow, Director of Council Relations, Constantine said Davison's claims are misguided. The jail makes exceptions to booking restrictions when there is a compelling reason, the message said, and Davison's office has simply been ineffective at making those arguments in court. The message said, quote, rather than attacking the jail, she should first get her own shop in order. The message goes on to invite, how passive-aggressive is this? The message goes on to invite Seattle to cancel its contract with the county for jail space. Quote, the county is more than willing to immediately release the city from any further obligations under the 2012 contract. This would ameliorate the jail's staffing challenges and allow the county to focus on the more serious felony suspects and offenders who are the county's responsibility under state law. How petty, small, temper tantrumy is that? Ann Davison brings up a factual point. I'm the city attorney, and I want you to know that we cannot book about half of the people being arrested, that there isn't space in the jail, space that we pay for, to book criminals who we want to book. And she has every right to bring that up. And Dow Constantine, in his 4th term, he throws a temper tantrum, ends up in the Seattle Times. But I would also just point out, when they say, oh, well, then fine, the city of Seattle can just cancel its contracts altogether and save us the time and the energy and not bring any of their suspects here. When they say that it would ameliorate the staffing challenges, so if Seattle PD wasn't booking misdemeanors into the jail, they said, okay, that'll help with our staffing challenges. But then they say it will allow the county to focus on the more serious felony suspects and offenders. Do they not realize that the people who are committing all these misdemeanor crimes over and over and over again, those are the people who are going to pick up a gun in downtown and shoot a random tourist tomorrow. Those are the people who are, high out of their minds, stabbing people on the light rail station. Like today's repeat misdemeanor offenders, particularly in downtown Seattle, are tomorrow's felony offenders. How many times have we seen that? We've seen that over and over and over again. People who are booked, 78 times. There's that one guy, throws coffee on a baby. Other instances where you've got the guy who killed a person with rebar. There were all these instances that there could have been intervention previously. We should want predominantly the people being booked into jail to be misdemeanor offenders because we're having an intervention before they commit a serious violent felony crime. So Dow Constantine should resign. Dow, I'm serious about it. Like, look, you've put 15 years in. Crime is worse. Affordability is worse. Homelessness is worse. The drug crisis is worse. Spending is higher than it's ever been. Taxes are higher than they've ever been. And we are getting absolutely nothing for it. You have done nothing for the county. Genuinely, you have done nothing for the county. And after 15 years, maybe you can take a break and go do other things. I think it is time for him to resign. You have no self-awareness. You have no accountability. You don't care that people are dying in the streets with a needle in their arm. You don't care that there's still a massive homelessness problem. And you don't care about crime. You genuinely don't. You care about FaceTime on TV, maybe trying to run for governor in 8 years after your buddy Bob Ferguson does. But what I know for sure is you actually don't care about the issues that are your responsibility in King County. So it's time for you to go.